coffee were two things that usually go hand in hand. It's easy to get into a mindless habit of consuming coffee, tea, energy drinks. And so in the effort of getting better in my time, I came across some very useful information for anyone who does, enjoy coffee, caffeine, all that good stuff. And this comes from the book Make Time. And so if you're new here, my name is Josiah. I am the co-owner of Grind Coffee, a coffee company that strives to help people find balance and purpose in their life, and of course serve them a good cup of coffee as well. So a quick intro into caffeine. Now, it's important to know that caffeine actually doesn't give you an energy boost like people might think. It actually blocks a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine is essentially a sleepy chemical that tells your body to get tired and go to sleep. So really it just blocks you from having an energy dip. And now tolerance is built up because as your body gets more used to caffeine, it will start building more adenosine to try to combat it. So today I'm going to give you 6 tips on how to better use your caffeine to give you a healthier, more enjoyable experience with it. So the first one's actually going to be wake up before you caffeinate. Now I know it's pretty popular to have coffee or any caffeinated beverage in the morning, which is what most people do. It's why Starbucks lines are so packed. But if you haven't heard of cortisol before, it's your body will be producing that in the morning. It's what's evident whenever your body's put under stress, and it's also going to wake your body up. Now, if you have caffeine while there's cortisol floating around, it's not going to do much for you. Now, I've noticed that if I have caffeine and I'm rushing to the gym at 5:30 a.m. and have caffeine within 30 minutes or so, it doesn't really do much and I still feel really groggy. However, on the days I wake up without going to the gym and just go to work, I have my coffee about an hour and a half or so after I wake up. And by then, it actually feels really nice to have it. And by then, I've already woken up because I've been on the road driving and doing stuff around the office.
Okay, well, heading back to the office from work, but I want to go over tip number 2. So that is actually caffeinate before you crash. Usually around 2 o'clock or so, I'm crashing no matter what I eat. I kind of shut down around then. So the goal here is to get some caffeine in you before you crash, because once adenosine, a chemical that makes you sleepy, sets in, the caffeine isn't going to be able to overcome that, and you're drinking coffee for no reason, and you have an elevated heart rate while you're still tired. It's not fun.
Tip number 3 is actually one of my personal favorites. It's called the caffeine nap. Now, I try to use this one sparingly so my body doesn't get used to it. I find this one works best by having something that's easier to drink. Now, that can be cold coffee, an energy drink, espresso, things that can go down fairly fast. I find it really, really hard to do with hot coffee. You may have better mileage than I do, but I just find it easier with cold drink. Now, the important part here is to actually get good at the power nap and know your body well enough to know if you can do that. So a power nap is around a 15 to 20 minute nap. You don't want to exceed that. Now, you'll probably find a bunch of stuff online about why naps are important, and I myself am a big believer in naps. However, it's important to know to not exceed that 15 to 20 minute mark, or you're going to wake up feeling worse. Now, if you have your caffeine and then immediately after try to take your nap, you can fall asleep fast. By the time you get up from that power nap, the caffeine will already be starting to affect your body, and then you're going to wake up feeling like a machine. At least I do. So it's called a caffeine nap. Give that one a shot and see how that one does. Next time you have a little bit of time and you can get away a bit at the office or just during the day. Tip number 4 is learn your last call. Now, I've talked to a lot of people and a lot of them won't have any sort of caffeine towards the end of the day. I myself can have caffeine and still go to sleep fine, but I know a lot of people, it can affect their sleep. Now, this is because caffeine's half-life is 6 hours, so that means caffeine is lingering around your body for about 12 hours or so. So if you think about it, if you have caffeine at around noon, then it would be hanging around to about midnight till your body gets completely rid of it. So if you like to go to bed early, be mindful of when you have your caffeine. Tip number 5, so this is actually cut the sugar. Sugar is probably one of the biggest culprits for why people have bad experiences with caffeine. This is because most people are ordering really sugary lattes, really sweetened coffee, throw a bunch of sugar in their coffee, sugar energy drinks, all of that stuff. Now, yes, sugar can give you energy, but it's going to be a short period of time before your body starts to crash because of insulin. Most people's bodies can't really handle that amount of sugar and get rid of it fast enough for it to not affect you. So the solution for this is fairly simple. I like to drink black coffee, so I don't have to worry about the sugar part in there. Get sugar-free energy drinks, which are the ones I will normally buy, and of course I like having those if I want to go to the gym or something. And there are other alternatives as well if you're really stuck on sugar, like stevia, in my opinion, is way better than any alternative sweetener. It's way healthier for you, and there's even options that they sell that are blended with the cane sugar or brown sugar and stevia. That way the calorie intake is a lot lower and there's a lot less sugar that's getting shuttled around your body. Trust me, it's not a very healthy thing to do, to throw a bunch of refined sugar in there at once. And so even actually at our coffee pop-up, we actually serve everything with sugar-free syrup, and everyone loves it. So in closing, everyone reacts to caffeine very differently. It's going to depend on your size, weight, age, tolerance, and even your DNA can play a part in that as well. So try some of these tips on your next morning or afternoon coffee and see how you feel. Remember, it's important to have rest and to not overdo it. This will not replace having good sleep and keeping your body healthy. So if you found this useful, like, subscribe, share it with one of your buddies that also likes to have a bunch of caffeine with you. So we'll continue making more videos about balance, finding purpose, and of course, coffee. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see y'all in the next one.